All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to take a look at this webinar. I'm Adam with AdvancedDimensions.com, and I'm going to just be going over the brand new S910. Just one sec. There we go. So I'm going to be going over the brand new S910. It's been out for a couple of weeks now, and they have that you can buy the individual unit or you can buy a kit. I kind of laid out a kit here because that's, in my opinion, that's the best way to use this thing. That's the easiest way, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. So I'm going to just basically go over what's here. I'm going to turn my phone on mute so that it doesn't make any fun noises. All right. So the S910, this is it in its entirety. It's actually the same size as the D810 Touch. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Same size as the D810 Touch. It's just got some added features, which I'll go over with you in a little bit. With the kit, what you get is the S910. So this is basically the box that it comes in. You get the Tri-70 and the new adapter that's specifically made for the S910, which is the FTA 360-S. They have a new kit that's coming out in a little bit that's going to be similar to the D810 Touch kit, which you see right here. And when you open this up, basically it has all of the components I just showed you over there, but instead of being individually boxed or have to take them to a site individually, you have it all right here. Here's the disto, the tripod, and then the adapter. So all in a nice case. It's an extra $50 for the case, but in my opinion, it's all in one spot, so it's kind of nice and handy. That one's not coming out. We're getting stock end of next week for that. So, all right, now I'm going to just kind of get into what this unit can do, and I'm going to move some of these things just so we can see what's going on. So before with the disto unit, this is the D810 Touch. Sorry. This is a D810 Touch, and what you can do with this is you can just take measure from the back of the device to the laser point, and you can measure everything vertically with the angle, but there's no way to measure horizontally the angle. What they've done with the S910, and if Brian, you want to zoom in right here, I think, is, again, it looks identical to the D810 Touch. Can't even tell them apart. Same touch screen, same everything. But the thing that they've added is they've added this column in the back. And what that means is when you pop this, this comes out, and when you mount this to a tripod or to the adapter that comes with it, it gives you the ability to calculate the angle both vertically and also horizontally. Extremely powerful when it comes to distos. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So what comes with, there's a carrying case that comes with this. You can see the carrying case for this one has that little added pouch, and what that is it's a plate that this basically mounts into. This will slide into the plate, and it gives you a stand, kind of stands on its own. You can move this around. Now, you have the tendency to move this too much, so what I suggest is holding it with one hand or getting like a clamp to clamp it down, and then you can move this thing around and take measurements. But then there's also with the adapter and the tripod itself, excuse the phone, and I'll show you how to move that in a minute. So basically, the tripod that comes with it is this Tri-70. And I'm just setting it up here. This is how the kit works. And I suggest the kit because it gives you a little bit more control. You're not bound by the units, being stuck just to the unit. And you have a tripod I'm trying to get this in your line of vision here. Hold on, still not straight. So what happens is this mounts to the 1/4-20 adapter. It's on top of the Tri-70. And this mounts to I'm just screwing this in. So now you can see when it's mounted on the tripod, this vertical pole that's on the back of it stays stationary while you're rotating this around and while you're angling it up and down. But now you don't have to be holding the unit. You can move this and you can move this to control the unit. So I'll get into that in a little bit when I start getting into the software. So the beauty with this unit is you can use it like a normal disto. So it's not bound to the tripod in that sense, but you have the tripod as a way to take more in-depth indirect measurements, much more than you can with any of the other units. So I'm going to boot this thing up and kind of give you a tutorial on the software and what the capabilities are versus the other units. I might have to get this a little closer so you can see what's going on here. There we go. Right there. There we go. So this looks just like the D810 Touch when you first boot it up. Right now it's telling me that the tripod is attached, that cylindrical column in the back is down. But when you go into the functions, these are the same functions that you would see with the D810 Touch, except they've added ones here. So here's a basically some 3D ones that you can do. And then when I go to the screen over, every one that you see here, if you're familiar with the D810 Touch, that is the same. So that hasn't changed. They just added these new features, which are on the first screen that you come into. And I still got the smart horizontal mode, just like the other units. But then with these added features, what you can do is, just trying to think of the best way to show this to you. With this one, this is a point-to-point angle finder. And what this means is, and I'll show you the help, is you can figure out the angle between two walls if you wanted to. It's very bright in here, sorry for that. Let me zoom in a little bit maybe. Okay. So what this is, you can take the angle between two walls. So I'm going to actually do this so you can see. If you want to zoom over there, Ryan. I'll let Ryan catch up with me. So this is asking me to take the first point. So when I take the first point, it says point taken. Now it says take the second point. Second point is going to be the corner of what the angle you're trying to do. Now I can get it close by hand and then kind of dial this in the corner. Take that corner shot. Now it's saying the corner shot has been accepted. And the next one is going to be at another point. I'll hold it right next to there so you can actually see it. And now when you come back to the disto, it actually tells you, that was off a little bit, but it actually tells you the angle of the wall. So very handy when you're doing like 45-degree angles if you want to just double check to see if something's going. Now this is 93.03 because I was probably going a little faster than I should have been. If I were doing this for real, I would have dialed that in and made sure I was right smack dab in the corner. It gives you that added ability. You cannot do that with any other disto other than the 3D disto. The other thing that you can do with this is you can take indirect measurements, but instead of being constrained to the horizontal or to the vertical, you can take it at any angle you want because now it can calculate that. So I'll just show you on this back wall here. Ryan's going to zoom out a little bit. Let's see. So if I wanted to take and measure a point. So say theoretically I wanted to know if there was something here that I needed to measure that was at an angle. So I'm picking that as the starting point, and then I'm going to pick down here as the ending point. And then when it goes through, it tells you that that angle, or that, sorry, not that angle, that measurement is 20 inches, 20 and 3/8. So that opens up the floodgates in terms of what you can do with this thing. In terms of indirect measurements, it really, you were limited by procedure with the D810 Touch. You were limited by, other conditions with the D810 Touch. With this one, you point and click, 2 different spots. Doesn't matter if it's a horizontal, vertical, sloped, it'll give you that measurement. So another added feature that's amazing. Then when you get into it, there's some other features where you can take like a, this is a area thing. It's really hard to see that screen. Just really bad there. This will give you area, but it's a regular area. But where before you had to pick, 4 points, and it would tell you, I don't even know if you could do that. You had to actually go up to it and take the measurements. This you can take 5, 6, 7, 8 points of a house. If you're doing siding or something like that, and you wanted to figure out how much siding you needed, set this up on one corner of the house, hit all the areas of the wall, including the sloped gable end or whatever, and it would tell you the area. So it's a nice feature as well. Then this is kind of where it gets into the powerful part of the unit. Again, sorry that it's kind of so bright down here. Try to make it a little bit better for you. There we go. So the powerful part of this unit, which gets it up there with the 3D unit that we have available, is not quite there because the 3D has automated features that this one does not have. The 3D has the capability of exporting many, many points to DXF, a limited amount, whereas this unit is only able to export 30 points. But if you wanted to get a quick rendition of a room, because you have plenty of points to do it, if you wanted to get a quick rendition of a curved area that you could go back and do some quick drawings for, this is the best way to, or this is a good way to use it. But what this is when I click go, basically, it goes through a procedure where it asks you to level it. So there's a couple steps here where you get it to a point, and then you got to rotate it a couple of different ways. So I'm just doing the process. This is what you would do if you were in the field. I'm going to rotate it back towards you. And it's going through, and it's basically, when you have a 3D unit, what it does is it levels itself. Now I just leveled this unit. And now when I start taking points, and I'll show you the points. So if I take a point here, and there, and I could go right around the room if I wanted to, up to 30 points. Then when you're done, you hit the save, and it says how many points you've taken and the date and time of the file, and it's saved as a DXF file right on the machine. So when you get done with the job, you pop this out and you hook up your USB to that, and you can export that right to, or you can basically just open this up like a removable jump drive and pick out those drawings, the DXF files that you got, and you have a DXF file with 3-dimensional points located within it in the X, Y, Z coordinates. I would probably suggest hitting a couple points on the floor so you get a base point, and then you can hit all your other points. This unit also has the ability to, and this is the one feature that I haven't tried yet, but I'm looking forward to it. There's a Disto transfer feature that you can get. It's a free software that you can download right from Leica's website that you can plug this in to like a CAD-based program like AutoCAD. I use AutoCAD. And you can set it up so that it will export XYZ coordinates. If you see this guy here, it'll export it as you're taking the dimensions. And that one does not, to my understanding, that one does not have a limit on your points. So if you had a laptop in the field that was connected to this unit via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, you would be able to connect to a CAD-based program and basically take the points with this unit, and it would just automatically, real time, be importing that into the CAD environment. So very powerful for that aspect of it, and it's nice because it doesn't limit you to the amount of points that you can take. Very similar to the 3D unit as well. The 3D, to its defense, the automation of it is by far way better than this one in terms of accuracy. You don't have to worry about your unit. Like this one is a little shaky still, even though it's mounted on tripod. If I wanted to get the best stability, I would put this tripod all the way to the lowest point that could go, and maybe put a weight on it so that it's not going to be moving around. But for quick stuff that you want to test out, this unit is great for that. The other nice thing about this unit is, it can do this, like I was saying before, it can do the standard. You can take a picture, it'll tell you the width. You can take a picture, it'll tell you the width and the height. You have to be far enough away to capture the entirety of what you're looking at, but you have that capability. You can also do topography with this unit. You can do some other point-to-point things that are similar. This is identical to the D8, but to be honest with you, with the newer features on the previous page, if you will, you can do many of the same features, so I would use those instead. The other thing about this unit is the D810 Touch is accurate to plus or minus a 32nd of an inch over 660 feet. They've upped this one to plus or minus a 32nd of an inch over 800 feet. So you got a little bit more accuracy. I don't know if you saw before, but this unit has, it like pulsates when you're taking measurements, and that's unlike any other unit, and I think that gives you that extra ability to take longer shots. And so that's another added feature that you can do. So the entire kit is for just the tripod and the S910 and the adapter without the case is $699. That one's only going to be available for a couple more weeks. $16.99, and that's only available for a couple more weeks, and then they're going to convert it to the kit that includes the case, which is $17.49. There's a little bit of jump up from the D810 Touch, but the abilities, I think, are by far much better as well. Just that ability to, when I used to go to a job site, I'd have to take an angle finder, and I'd have to take, all sorts of other things that would give me the ability to take the shots. With this one, you really can do it with just this one unit. And that's pretty much this in a nutshell. We're going to do another webinar in the next couple of weeks to get into a little bit more nitty-gritty. I did want to show you guys an example of a file that was exported using this, I believe. And so I just have a tablet here, and I did some files over the weekend. So I'm trying to show you this without too much glare. So what it does is very similar to the 3D. It has a 2D, a 2D and a 3D version. I'm going to open up the 3D version. Now I have just the Autodesk Trueview. It gives you the ability to open up DXF files without installing AutoCAD. It's a free program that Autodesk offers for anybody out there who just wants to view files and not really make any edits. I suggest putting this on any device that you don't necessarily want to port a full version of AutoCAD on, but you want to be able to check to see how things are going. You can check measurements with this. You can see how it looks. So this is an example of a file that I did over the weekend, and I'm going to show you. And that's basically what it gives you. It gives you X's where you took the snap and the point, and that draws a line in between those. I kind of went crazy in my living room, just basically hitting light fixtures and all sorts of other things. But you can see that the angled piece in the back is the roof, and these other points are like the light fixtures. So very handy when you want to take measurements right from here. You could, basically snap measurements from point to point, and those are what the room is. You can see what the angles are between the walls, all from this DXF file, and it's all in 3D. And you can also open up a 2D version of this, which basically is a flat shot looking down. If I can get that, I can't get it. But so that's the powerful features of this new S910. Currently, we're actually out of stock for the kits. We do have the units in stock. This has been just a really popular item. It's sold out quite a lot across the country, and we got more stock coming in next week. But if you have any questions, you have any comments, you want to talk to us, feel free to ask right now, and/or you can give us a call at anytime, and we'd love to talk to you about this. I have used this in the field a couple of times, and it's worked pretty well so far. So pretty amazing what Leica's been doing lately. Do you have any comments or questions, Ryan? We'll leave it open for a little bit more. And then the nice thing about this is the breakdown of it. You just basically pop this right off. With the other units too, you have to say that you're on a tripod. You have to, physically change the software to let it know that it's mounted. With this one, when you pop that cylinder down, it automatically changes and tells the unit that you are in that mode. So there's no changing that you need to do to that, and just a little bit easier. It just kind of takes some of the guesswork out of it where you had that before. So this just unscrews, the other one unscrewed, and if you already have like a D810 Touch, they have and with the adapter, they have a kit that you can buy that you can update it to have this cut out instead of the solid back that the D810 Touch has. But yeah, it's pretty easy. So if there's no questions, I think I'll wrap it up for today. And thanks, guys, for taking the time to take a look at this webinar. And we'll send you another call out when we're doing another one. All right, thanks.